Welcome to Unlocking the Windy City podcast. I'm longtime real estate advisor in Chicago and the North Shore and TV host of Windy City Unlocked. Today I'm here with my wife, the director of operations for the JG Group, and we're going to be talking about the real stories, the behind the scenes, real estate, luxury, neighborhoods, everything that you want to know about Chicagoland real estate and the behind the scenes of Windy City Unlocked. So thanks for joining.
Wait, so I have a question. Are we only telling the real stories here, or is that only on TV?
No, I mean, we're talking about the real stories on the TV show. Thank you for clarifying. This is why we have a director of operations. So, Carrie, I want to talk to you about your role as director of operations, because you were a special ed teacher for 16 years, and this is a big jump, and you're killing it.
I mean, everybody needs to be organized. Everybody has executive functioning things that they could work on and make, better. And so it's kind of the same thing, just working with older people from middle school.
So you're calling us old is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is from middle school to, people my own age, everybody needs help with executive functioning. Everybody needs help making sure that they have all their ducks in a row, all their T's crossed, all their I's dotted. So
yeah, which has been great because on the show, I mean, I am so out of my element, and like you're behind the scenes, you're talking to everybody, you're meeting the business owners.
I know, I love that.
I know. It's fun seeing you shine in that environment because you know me, like we've been married for 11 years, we've been together for 14 plus. I am not an extrovert.
And I love talking to people.
I know. It's so like...
You get to know people, by one little prompt that you could ask someone a question. I mean, I'm getting people to tell me things that I don't think that they would say on a first date. So, it's kind of interesting. And I think that's what makes the show more exciting is because we can find out information. Oh, you really like this or you don't like that. And then we can use that to help highlight those people and those businesses.
Yeah, which is kind of what we do in real estate. I mean, every day I'm meeting with people, I'm talking with them, I'm finding out what makes them tick and what brings them to the most intimate part of their life. I mean, it's their home.
Yeah.
And you learn so much about people in that way, but it's just interesting because like I'm not an extrovert. I'm very introverted. We've talked about this. I can show houses for 14 hours a day and I'm tired, and we film this TV show for 4 hours and I'm fucking exhausted.
And then I'm running around like a wild person. So it's been really cool. It's been really cool transitioning out of, a very strict schedule to being able to meet people that we've never been able to interact with, learn about people's stories that, maybe you only see on TV or maybe you only interact with them once in your life or whatever. And it's been, I'm not talking about just celebrities. I'm talking about everyday people that we can learn from, we can grow from. And it's been really cool.
So what's been your favorite segment so far on the show or your favorite person that we've met?
I don't know. They've all been great. But I mean, of course, everything goes back to food. So,
I mean, Bronzeville was insane.
Yes, Bronzeville was some sorcery type of food that I don't think I've ever tasted in my life. And the fact that Chef Brandon will make me whatever I want gluten-free. So, that was pretty serious. And he's taught me some new recipes. But then again, I loved interacting with Sarah and talking to her about coffee, things that I know nothing about.
Coffee.
I know, I don't even like coffee, but if they have a green tea lemonade, that's totally my jam. So, it adds that hyperactivity level right back in there. So, it's fine. But whatever. Everyone who we met has been awesome, and I don't feel like they're just friends for that hot second. I feel like we've made friends for life.
The connections that we've made on the show have been incredible, and I mean that's what the TV show is all about. It's about making the connections with people in Chicagoland, telling their stories. You said the real stories. That's what we're doing on the show. We're telling the real stories about the people of Chicago in their element and really helping the city shine. I mean, Chicago gets a bad rap.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought to go to Bronzeville? I mean, everyone we've talked to is like, how You went that far. It's A, it's not that far.
No,
And
it was less than an hour.
B, it's this incredible place that you would never know about if, you didn't go there, you didn't see it. And I mean, I don't know what they've done there, but they've made it such an inclusive environment to where everyone is welcome. Even if you're not from Bronzeville, or you're not from the South Side, you're not from Chicago, everyone's welcome.
Well, you hear about the South Side. I mean, you watch the news, you listen to the stories, you hear about the South Side, and let me just say, Bronzeville is not the South Side of Chicago.
No.
I mean, yes, in geography, it's the South Side, but when we're driving through there and on our way to the restaurant, all the times that we went, in the prep for the episode, in actually filming the episode, the houses there are incredible. Yeah. The architecture, the stories, the community.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an up and coming area for sure.
I mean, it's literally the only fine dining restaurant that I saw in my little walk around the block. But my walk around the block there was more about, interacting with the business owners, and, they're so excited that there's this place there that, makes their community stronger and a fun spot. It's not just a dinner place. It's a place where people go to have a good time. They can listen to music. There's shows there. It's just, and the food is just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. Plus, I mean, I love Brandon. I think Chef Brandon is one of the coolest people I've ever met. So
it's funny because you talk about community, and I found when we were rewatching the segments for the episode, I talk a lot about community in the intros and the outros, but I mean, witnessing the way communities come together and rally around a business, rally around a place, rally around food or coffee or, art, whatever it is, that's what I think has been the most rewarding part of doing this show. Is it's not just about the people, it's not just about the food, it truly is about creating a sense of community.
Yeah. And it's not just, like the food is one part, but the community base that we saw even at Design at 329 with Sammy is that all those people, all those artists are, have their own businesses and all these things, but they all work together. They all work together for the same piece.
It's collaboration. It's
all collaboration. And it's the same with real estate.
I was just going to say that. It's the same with real estate. I notice when I go on a listing appointment, when I talk to sellers, when I talk to buyers that are looking to buy a house and they're interviewing me as their agent, the thing that comes up the most that I think has gotten me across the finish line and has helped me win business is talking about collaboration, because you're hiring me, but you're not necessarily like cornered in and pigeonholed with me as your agent. I collaborate so much with other agents in the community. I truly feel I've got great relationships with most of the top producers in multiple different marketplaces, not just because of the deals that we've done over the years or, this deal that we're working on, but because of the relationships that I've built and established, being on the grievance committee and the ethics committee for the board of realtors for so many years, being a managing broker and interacting with these agents when they needed something.
Yeah.
It's about collaboration. Our industry is so tight knit. There's 30 plus thousand realtors in the Chicagoland area, but a lot of the top agents, we all know each other. We all work with each other, and we have to be collaborative. The agents who have success are collaborating with each other.
100%. I mean, just think about, as we were talking about doing a podcast, you have other friends that are agents that do podcasts, and they were like, hey, let me give you some tips, or let me talk to you about, all the things. And that shows your presence in the community, your presence with your fellow agents, how everybody does work together.
Now you're making me blush.
Oh, shush. No, but it's good. And the other part to this is that if you look at all those agents that you collaborate with, because that's something on the back end that I look at is reviews and all the things and what, makes people, want to go and work with somebody. All of the agents that we collaborate with have similar reviews, all work as a collaborative team with other people. And that is, that shows in just how you interact with them, and then what clients talk and say about the people that they work with. And, it's definitely hard to pick an agent these days, but
Well, it's cutthroat, but it's always been a cutthroat business.
Yeah.
Especially in Chicagoland, which is crazy to me because I look at other markets throughout the country and you've got 2 or 3 companies that are competing for top market share in those markets. And then you look at Chicagoland and the company with the number 1 market share is dominating. And I'm not going to mention what that company is, but they're dominating the market share at 18%. I mean, that's what's crazy about Chicagoland real estate is there's so much division, there's so much competition, and it's just so different from other parts of the country. And, I talked to agents this past week alone. I've talked to an agent in Houston. I've talked to an agent in Austin. I've talked to agents in Colorado. I've talked to agents in Arizona. And they're seeing such different dynamics in real estate right now. They're seeing the market that has completely shifted and flipped on its head. And it went from being a tight seller's market with limited inventory. And now it's a market where there's 22, 24 months of inventory. They can't give away a property.
We can't even find them.
And we can't even find them. I mean, it's a struggle for our clients right now that are looking to buy homes.
But if you want to sell one,
yeah,
it'll go fast. It'll go fast.
Okay, but that's not necessarily true. It'll go fast if it's priced right with the right marketing strategy, the right philosophy. There are so many lazy agents out there today.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
I'm calling you guys out.
No,
if you're a lazy agent,
it's not just lazy. It's they're only an agent when someone calls them.
That's a great point.
Yeah, they're only an agent when someone calls them. They're only available if you as a client pick up the phone. Whereas you as an agent, I want to watch a TV show at night and you're on the phone with your clients, but that makes you unique. That makes you available to your clients, and clients want people who are available. I can say that as a teacher. My parents that I work with only really wanted to work with me because of the fact that I was available to them. I was available all the time.
It was different in your role because as a special ed teacher, you're not just teaching a subject, you're not just teaching a class and presenting a book or, sending them home with a book report that's due in a week. Yeah. You're part of their process. And which is why I think it's evolved so well into your new role is you're part of creating a process. You're part of creating systems to help enable us as a team to be more efficient, to help position our clients in a better, but it's the same thing. It's just creating systems, creating processes.
That's exactly what you do for your clients. You make yourself available. You make sure that they know what they need to, you're not just going to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to sell your house and here's your first offer, and not say to them, hey, you know what, maybe look at this part of this offer, or, this agent works really well, whatever. I think that if you're able to communicate with the agent and know what's going on, that deal is going to go together way better than if it was just.
That's true. And I'm laughing because I'm realizing in this moment that you do actually listen to me. So you are hearing the things that I say to my clients. You would be a great agent if you decided to actually pursue the test.
I don't know. That's a really hard test. I don't know how people pass it because I just looked at it differently. I mean, I literally just looked at it differently. Like a teacher mindset of learning the material, and it's literally all about memorizing, which is, I don't know that I...
Well, and that's why there's 30,000 plus real estate agents in Chicagoland, and, 95% of them can't do the job. They memorized the stuff. They knew what they needed to do to take the test to pass the exam. But you go to them and you say, all right, walk me through the process. And they're like, well, talk to this person, talk to that person, call me when you want to see a property and I'll open the door and I'll unlock it for you. I mean, we're not Uber drivers, but that's what our industry has turned into. I mean, you want to talk about changes. You look at what Zillow is doing today and, I'm going to call it out, but they're creating Uber drivers of real estate. So Zillow's a brokerage. Zillow's not a website that has great marketing. Their marketing sucks. Their data is inaccurate. I mean, I remember my favorite story about Zillow is, I think this was my second year in the business. I had a client who was shopping for 25, we weren't even together. We didn't know each other yet, but I had a client that was shopping for like $25,000 to $50,000 properties. They were looking for a small condo. And I remember vividly one day they called me up and they said, Justin, we have to go see this place. We just found there's this house that's on Zillow for $25,000 and we have to go look at it. And I was like, hold on, stop. That's not adding up. There's no house available in the market that you're looking at for $25,000. And I went and I looked it up in the MLS. Zillow forgot 3 zeros. It was $2.5 million.
Well, that's the problem that we hear all the time, even when we're, talking with our friends, like, oh, I could sell my house. Zillow says it's worth 1.7. No, no. If you updated your kitchen, maybe, or you updated all of your bathrooms, or you took out a few walls, maybe, but you can't, the internet is this wild place, right? It's the Wild West, and you can't always believe everything that you see.
And I mean, social media has changed that today too. You have people that are getting their news from TikTok. You and I have had this conversation because it drives me crazy when you're getting all your information off of TikTok.
Listen, there's a lot of information.
There's good information out there. Don't get me wrong. There is valid information, but
you got to fact check.
You have to fact check. You have to, and it goes back to accountability. I think that's the whole thing. You have to be accountable to the data that you're using. You have to be accountable to the research that you're getting. You have to be accountable to your clients. You have to be accountable to, the people that you're servicing today. And that's what I'm going to go back to the show for a second, but that's what I love about the show is we're accountable to telling real stories about real people, real time, real communities. And that's what I think is so fun. So like you called me out on it at the beginning of the show. We're not telling real stories. No, that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're telling the real stories.
Yep. Without any fluff. It's all real. It's all raw.
Yeah. Well, the fluff I suck at. So, I mean, that wouldn't be good anyway. So what was your favorite, besides the food, what was your favorite segment to film? What mine was.
That's an interesting one. I don't know. They've all been kind of fun and have had their own unique piece to it. I feel like you're going to tell me the flight.
Oh, 100%. I was going to say the flight.
I mean, I had my barf bag ready. So, there was that. But no, I feel like the flight was cool because we got to see things or show things that people don't necessarily get to see from above, right? But I feel like that one was our like solo mission, right? The other ones we met so many cool people with the other ones that I can't, I don't know. I can't say that there's like a favorite piece, but I mean, we had a lot of fun doing all of them. We met really cool people. Yeah. And, I feel like one of the things that we're doing with the show is not just highlighting the places that are like in the city or whatever, but we're highlighting stuff that's like close and near and dear to our hearts, like in our hometown, and making sure that those businesses thrive and all those things. I mean, even though Bronzeville's in the city, it's still, I want them to thrive. I want everything that we do to thrive.
Okay, but Bronzeville was still a local connection.
Of course.
There was someone that I've known my entire life that made that connection to Chef Brandon.
Of course.
And I mean, everything ties back to us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of the show. It's the stories we want to tell. It's the stories that are endearing to us that are going to be the ones that make it on the show. But with that being said, if you guys are listening out there, we are looking for people. We're looking for stories. We're looking for businesses. We're looking for event spaces. We want to feature the best of Chicagoland as long as there's a good story to tell behind it. Yeah. So
I do think that if I were to say, and going back to your question of what my favorite part was, is going back to obviously my roots of being a teacher, is when we interviewed Richie and his golf apparel company, because that to me, was a huge piece of why I became a special ed teacher. It wasn't about, oh, you're going to make this crazy salary and whatever. You're going to give your heart and soul to everything that you do. And that's what Richie did, is that he took, the money that he makes from his day job and is trying to get underprivileged youth into a sport that, they might not have even thought about playing or have had access to. And I think that story to me is a huge part of why we are doing the show, to highlight people who do amazing things for people, for the youth of our community, because the youth is our future. And if we can make,
Now you sound like a teacher.
well, whatever, but I'm just saying, but the youth is our future. And if we can make a difference in today's youth and help them grow and learn hard work and all the things, and get them in the right places, they're going to do bigger and better things. And that just boosts our economy and all the things that, we want to do and have available to our kids and whatever. So, I'd say Richie is obviously, I love
Richie
his story.
is just an amazing
Yeah.
person.
Yes.
He's got a great story.
Yeah.
But he worked hard.
Yeah. He
He worked
really
hard to get where he's at.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to that in my thought process. Is one of the things that drives me crazy in our industry is that people just aren't willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
They're not willing to work hard. They're not willing to be accountable. You look at agents who have been in the business 20 years and they're selling the same amount year after year after year,
Yeah.
and they're not growing because they're not willing to work. You said it, you picked up on it before. They're agents when their phone rings.
Yeah. Or they're agents when their best friend, makes a call and says, can you help out somebody? And then they don't really do anything but show up to one showing. And, it's funny because in interacting with, people at the gym and different things that, I'll hear people talk about, it's very interesting to hear, oh, I sold my house, with so-and-so, and we had this, terrible experience. And I'm kind of like, hello, you could have had a really good experience if you would have just listened to me, or whatever. But, it's interesting to hear different stories about how people interact with their agents. And then obviously I love hearing the stories about people who have that same work ethic and same drive that you do, and the same, availability to your clients that you do, because I'm like, okay, good. There's still people out there that just don't pick up their, they don't pick up their phone only to work. Like, they're working all the time, not just when their phone rings. So,
yeah. Well, that's where people are jaded by the market that we're in right now, because it's been so easy to sell a house.
Yeah.
And not saying that there's not a lot of work that goes into it. I mean, there absolutely is, but it's been, relatively speaking, I remember back early on in my career where average market times were 14, 16, 18 months, and you had to work to sell a house. You had to make sure that you had the right pricing strategy. You had to make sure that you were getting 2 to 3 showings a month in order to drive people in and make sure the listing didn't get stale. But let me pause
you for a second. You're still doing all that work for those listings, even though they're going faster than they ever were before. You're still making sure that you're priced correctly, that you have your CMAs, that you're
doing what's right for the client.
Of course.
That's the bottom line today.
What it goes back
you have to still do what's right, and that's the foundation of my business. That's what I've always done in my career. Is it's always been about doing what's right. It's the golden rule. You have to treat people the way you would want to be treated. I wouldn't want someone to blow smoke up my ass and tell me to do something just because that's what they thought I wanted to hear. And I've never done that, and I would never do that because of that reason. So I've had bad advisors in different areas of my life, and you take the advice of someone that you think you can trust. But at the end of the day, how do you know that you can trust someone? Well, trust isn't given, it's not provided, it's earned.
Yeah.
You have to earn someone's trust. And that's what I think I've tried to do throughout my career, is earn people's trust, make sure that they know I'm providing the best possible advice based on my experience, based on my, knowledge, based on the practices, the things that I do day in and day out to be able to guide.
Sounds like you had good teachers.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, you are curating the youth and the future of our country. So, and now curating the JG group.
Yeah.
So, well, I want to keep talking about the show. I want to keep talking about business, but there's so much more going on in the world. There's so much more going on in our life. I mean, just our family alone, we've got, 2 beautiful children. We've got 2 crazy dogs. But there's so much more that, we have to explore. I mean, our story is just getting started.
Yeah.
We've been working together now officially for 4 months.
But no, it's been
unofficially, I don't know, 3 years.
Yeah. 3 years since Rylan was born.
So I'm excited about this first episode.
Yeah. Me too.
So there's so many great stories. The experience has been so amazing. And, we're starting to plan episode number 2 now. So I think there's going to be a lot more focus on real estate.
Yeah.
Not a lot. I think we're still telling stories. I mean, it's still storytelling. We're still telling the stories about Chicago. We're telling the stories about some of the businesses, but I think there is going to be more of an emphasis on real estate.
Yeah, we got to see some cool kitchens or something.
Well, we're definitely going to see some cool kitchens. I don't want to give too much away, but, one of the things that I'm excited about is showcasing an organization that I've been part of for almost a decade now.
It's been a long time.
So it's been a long time.
A lot of chickens.
The holidays are coming up. Don't give too much away. But, the holidays are coming up. People are in need, especially in today's world. Insecurity, food insecurity, hunger is a big part of where we're at, in the world today and politically. Yeah. And, I'm excited to showcase an organization that's doing a lot of good. So, that's going to be exciting. But, the first episode, first and foremost, the first episode comes out soon, the next couple of weeks.
No, it's wild.
Make sure you tune in, streaming digitally on all the major streaming platforms, Windy City Unlocked. This is our first episode of Unlocking the Windy City. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, keep listening, keep watching, share it with someone else who's as passionate about Chicagoland as we are. And
wants to watch a husband and wife, bicker a little bit. Why not?
Well, we're not going to be on every episode together.
No, I know that, but maybe I'll make some appearances.
Yeah, it'll be fun. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who loves Chicago as much as we do. If you're thinking about buying or selling or just want clarity on the market, reach out anytime. We're always here to help unlock what's possible for you, and make sure that you turn into the latest episode of Windy City Unlocked.
Tune in. You said turn in.
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought I said tune in.
I thought I heard turn.
I don't know where we're turning.